Blue Beast Tales by the PARAnnoyed P.I. A wager's tug. Earl Gubman reinforces his helmet fittings, trying not to catch his wide and waxy moustache, preparing to slide off the old tugboat. Under fading light, he kicks the haggard, sea-soaked oak vessel and releases a gulp.
Ooh. I hope that bet Durson tea come back tea horned me. That Baker's doesn't had to fall tea give me a chance.
Late 19th century equipment weighs him down toward the ocean's floor. Checking his air pipe, he grips an iron basket attached by rope, used for collecting clams for rare pearls. Tugging at lifeline, plummeting into cold and briny depths, landing on the jagged eye-catching coral bed. Amidst murky rock forest, trekking lead footprints, he sharply mutters in complete isolation.
Seemed a sure bet to me. Gotta quit this job. Can't stand these suit and ties. I'm so over this current life.
Earl's inner train pivots to all the ancestors that inspired him to enter this line of work. Tales of untold dreams and riches turn to claustrophobic plundering of the soul. His attention wanes to powerful gulps, gasping in yet imbibing naught.
Hop, hop, hop. Was air cut? Pipe caught and spool? They stopped the pumps. Payback for the bet? Accident planned?
Churns through his starved brain. He drops the basket while sauntering toward a brighter opening. A long coral table appears sparkling with oysters, mussels, lobsters, and more, all wriggling with the low water tide. Around the deep spiny table seats all of Earl's dead relatives. They are all well dressed for pulpy skeletons, but in the flickering light of wet navy below, their flesh and life can just be made out. Earl sits an open chair and raises toasts of slate flute with sea foam to his most honored hosts. From the corner of his eye, spots an enticing centerpiece full of clams, but decides he'd rather converse the long-lost extended Gubman dynasty. The uncle who taught Earl how to gamble, made example for the pitfalls of losing, sits across him. Great-grandfather Captain rests stiffly head of the table, exit wound in chest from crew payback. His nonna the jeweler who taught him to set diamonds age 8, choked on mist of grindstone after a lifetime of careful settings, nods politely. Cousin, jockey, whose hunch appeared debut fall, smiled back from behind the spread. And last his brother, the savvy accountant who gave Earl his first lesson in social economics by founding a snail race betting ring age 11. He managed to clean up from local tradesmen who fought their cut, losing only to select fingering of saltwater when placing contestants. Captain rises, lifts flute and remarks,
"We're all so proud of you and your days of success and sacrifice. We applaud you for taking everything we know and going on to conquer new territories."
Earl sings,
I appreciate you all teaching me a slight thing or two. I wouldn't be here without you.
However, his uncle peers grimly and questions.
Why ever did you fix the race?
Earl riposts,
Thank you all for laying the way for me, but now's the time I must leave this course. It was bad clams that got me into this mess, now they're gonna help me out of it.
Airpipe tugs, he falls limp. Nonna clinks knife against flute and Earl regains a modicum of clarity, then addresses his family. Lungs inflating.
Whoop. I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a catch to make. Goodbye horses.
Solemnly burying 13 lost steeds. He jumps to heavy feet, snatching clams off the table, then throws them to nearby basket and tugs. Earl's torn back to surface and deck, with heavy bag, undoes helmet and snaps at the 6-man crew.
Now you can afford to honor our last land bet and pay me.